We can't put it off any longer. Christine's last calendar is just moments away.
Well, we will have the day's news and, worryingly for me, some surprises. See you soon.
Now the latest ITV news in the Calendar region with Duncan Wood. And for her final programme, Christine Talbot.
Good evening, welcome to ITV News. This is Wednesday night's calendar.
Tonight's a special programme as we say a very fond farewell to Christine, who's leaving ITV after nearly 30 years. Lots of surprises and hairstyles coming up a little later on. But first, let's take a look at this evening's main stories.
Yes, jailed, the loan shark who used social media to target youngsters struggling for cash.
I'm really pleased that the court saw the seriousness of his behaviour and the fact that he was ripping off most vulnerable people in the community.
An inquest hears how a young woman was left to die in a field as she tended to her horse.
Keep on running fundraiser. Ray Matthews marks his 80th birthday with a new challenge for those 7 decades younger.
And I'm live in Otley, where after a year's break due to the pandemic, top-level cycling returns to the region's roads.
But first tonight, a loan shark who advertised on the social media platform Snapchat and lent money to vulnerable people has been jailed at Sheffield Crown Court today.
Rowan Mavunga, who's from Doncaster, offered short-term, high-interest loans to people who couldn't simply pay him back. He then threatened and intimidated his victims. Katie Oscroft reports.
Rowan Mavunga touted his illegal money loans on social media. The former business student pleaded guilty to breaking the financial laws his degree course had taught him all about. The court heard that Mavunga made a profit of £25,000 from just 35 people in 2 years. One was a single mother whose first loan was £150. Mavunga asked for a photo of her front door and her passport before he handed it over. When she couldn't repay it, she was sent threatening messages and then attacked in the street.
The size of loans that he was giving were to people who could least afford it, and what we were seeing was £10 to £500 to people in the community who sometimes were unemployed, were single mums, people who were struggling to find the basic needs, as the judge said today. And that's why it was so despicable what he was doing, because he was targeting these individuals and then ripping them off.
Mavunga intimidated many of his customers, sending messages like this, threatening to come for his victims and involving members of their family.
I've got a mate on Snapchat called Erin, and she lends money to students.
This video is now being shown in schools to warn young people likely to put their trust in social media about the dangers.
He was running his business across social media, and we heard today how he placed adverts on Snapchat. And the difficulty with that is in many instances people don't know who they're dealing with. In this case, clearly, he wasn't a legitimate business. He was somebody who was there ripping people off.
Sentencing Mavunga to 16 months in prison, the recorder Megan Rees said that the people who approached him for loans were vulnerable, both financially and personally. She said that the financial laws that are in place are to protect people who are desperate from people like Rowan Mavunga. The jail term, said recorder Rees, reflected his appalling conduct. Katie Oscroft, ITV News, Sheffield.
Well, next this evening, an inquest into the death of Gracie Spinks, whose body was found in a field at Duckmanton near Chesterfield, has heard that she died from a stab wound to the neck.
The horse-loving 23-year-old was found in a paddock on June the 18th. The second inquest into the death of Michael Sellers, who was known to Gracie, heard that tests established that he died on the same day from self-inflicted suffocation. Here's David Hurst.
Yes, more details revealed at today's brief inquest into how Gracie Spinks died. The hearing was told that 2 people who found her lying on the ground thought that she'd been kicked by her own horse. but it was only when paramedics arrived a short time later that they realised that her injuries were as a result of a serious assault with a weapon. Now, Chesterfield Coroner's Court heard how Gracie was last seen alive by her mum before she drove the 5 miles or so to here where she kept her horse Paddy. A post-mortem examination revealed that Gracie had been stabbed in the neck. Well, the second inquest was opened this morning, this time into the death of Michael Sellers, who was known to Gracie. It heard how he left his home in Sheffield early that morning. His body was found in a field half a mile away from here, and just a few hours after the discovery of Gracie. Well, there have been many tributes to Gracie, as you can see from all these flowers and messages here. And there's also a campaign calling for tougher punishments for stalkers. That's been set up in Gracie's name, and it has the support of her family. Well, earlier I spoke to the woman who's organising that campaign.
You know, these unfortunate circumstances, we need to just put a law in place that can hopefully ensure that this doesn't happen again. To lose anyone, but to lose a child, I cannot imagine what them parents are going through, and her family and friends. You know, it's just awful.
Really important day, the opening of the inquest. All anyone wants is the truth now, and then for lessons to be learned from this whole appalling episode.
Well, both inquests were adjourned, and in an unusual move, Chesterfield's assistant coroner said he didn't want this hearing to drag on, and says he wants police to provide him with a written update on their investigations no later than October the 29th. David Hurst, ITV News, Duckmanton.
Candidates in the Batley and Spen by-election have spent a final day campaigning before voters go to the polls tomorrow. The election was triggered when Labour's Tracy Brabin stood down to become West Yorkshire's mayor.
Well, our political correspondent Harry Horton is live in the newsroom for us now. Harry, what are the party's expectations?
Well, Labour's majority in this seat, just over 3,500 votes, but there's lots of independent candidates standing in this Batley and Spen by-election, and there are fears among some in the Labour Party that their vote could be split among those other parties. Now, for the Conservatives, they've got a real challenge to win here. They've not held this seat since 1997, but you speak to some Tory MPs and they're quietly confident that their party could have a chance of winning this election on Thursday. Certainly for Labour, a loss for them would pose a real headache for their party leadership.
It maps into a much wider discourse about the extent to which the red wall is falling in the north of England, and the extent to which, if this seat falls after Hartlepool, that Keir Starmer's leadership is under increasing pressure.
So, Harry, how soon can we expect a result?
Well, votes will be counted overnight on Thursday. We're expecting a result early on Friday morning. Of course, we'll bring you all the reaction to that on Friday's programme and on our website.
Harry, thank you. So, confirmation then that 16 candidates are standing in the Batley and Spen by-election. Here are the names of who is contesting the seat. Polling stations will be open tomorrow between 7 in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. And all the details of who is standing and information on how you can apply for an emergency proxy vote on the day is on our website. The usual address, itv.com/calendar.
Still to come, the fundraising octogenarian inspiring today's youngsters to get on their feet.
And as we run up to the weekend, are there any hurdles in store weather-wise? I'll have the all-important forecast later in the programme.
Well, the ITV Evening News continues at 6:30. Here's a look at what's happening with Mary Nightingale.
Coming up on the programme, just how far can England go after their famous victory over Germany? The win has sparked a wave of English optimism. Now the players prepare for a quarter-final in Rome against Ukraine. Also ahead tonight, details of a plan to give millions a third vaccine jab in the autumn. Bad kitchen sink habits that clog up our sewers. And why are Wimbledon's courts so slippery this year? Do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Mary, thank you. Now, it's one of the region's most anticipated annual sporting events, yet Otley cycle races, like many events, was cancelled last year because of the pandemic.
Well, with most restrictions now lifted, the riders are back on their saddles this evening, and Chris Dawkes is down there for us. Not in lycra, thank goodness. I can't tell the bottom half, though. Chris, what's the atmosphere like down there?
Yeah, nobody wants to see me in Lycra, Christine, not even you on your last show. Yes, the atmosphere is building here. It's a lovely evening for it as well. And isn't it great to see top-level cycling back on the region's roads? We've just seen the start of the junior races. We've got the elite men's and women's races coming up later on this evening, but it's taken a lot of hard work and effort to get to this point by the organisers, one of which is Sonia Harper. Let's speak to Sonia now. If you can hear me as the cyclists just go past, perfect timing, Sonia. But I mean, you've been working tirelessly over the last few months to get this thing on.
Yeah.
How tough has it been?
It's been a bit of a shocker, to be honest, and I can't quite believe that everything's come together and it's all happened. Yeah, there were a lot of moments over the last few weeks that I thought that it wouldn't happen.
Have you had to jump through a lot of hoops to get here?
Yeah, a lot of hoops, lots of extra work, lots of extra marshals to make sure things are safe, to make sure we don't have too many people in this area, make sure people are spreading around the course when they want to come and keeping their distance from others. So yeah, it's been tough. Lots of other extra things, jobs as well, but it's, you know, it's all worth it now.
Well, we need to lie down after this, I'm sure.
Tell me about it.
We've also got Mandy Jones with us as well, former world champion cyclist. Mandy, it's always nice to see you at Otley, and it's always nice to be here at Otley. It's got a unique atmosphere, this place, hasn't it?
It has, yes. It's always been fantastic, and the crowds, even though they're smaller than normal tonight, are usually fantastic, and we've got great weather tonight, which does help, of course. It's great being back.
How's the last year been for you and for cycling as a whole, do you think?
Oh, extremely difficult. I mean, as far as racing, Sonia would probably know more about that, because of course her boys are racing, whereas I'm not really involved in the racing scene anymore. But as far as business has been, that's been absolutely phenomenal as far as cycling goes, because so many people have been digging the bikes out. So that's been good. But from a racing point of view, you're probably better off asking Sonia.
Well, Sonia, you've got interest tonight. You've got your son Joe in the race, Joe Peacock. So you'll be keeping a close eye on this, won't you, tonight?
Sorry, say that again.
You'll be keeping a close eye on this tonight with Joe racing.
Yeah, he's not until later, so I'm hoping once everything settles down, I think things are pretty much settled down, I can actually relax and have a drink and be a spectator in a while, and yeah, just cheer my boy on, which would be really, really nice.
Tonight, hope you could hear us over that, but all in all, it's just great to see cycling back on the region's roads.
Chris, thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, if you're celebrating your 80th birthday, you might want to take it a bit easy, enjoy the day, but that's not for marathon man Ray Matthews from Rotherham.
Yes, Ray ran 75 marathons on his last big birthday. Now he's got a new challenge, getting schools to raise £80 each by getting pupils to run 80 miles. Here's Martin Fisher.
Come on, kids, happy birthday!
80 years young and ready to inspire the next generation. Ray has got these pupils at Wickersley's Northfield Primary School up and running for his challenge.
The 80-80 challenge, and to try and raise a lot of money for Age UK Rotherham, and also at the same time to get you fit and healthy.
Of course, Ray's used to a challenge. 5 years ago, he ran 75 marathons in 75 days to raise money for a specialist school for children with disabilities.
It's not every day you see an 80-year-old running like miles. It's important to keep fit so you have a good body and you have good strength.
You need to be fit, otherwise it's all just going to break apart.
What's it like having all these kids running on your birthday?
Oh, this is what it's all about. This is amazing, isn't it? Fantastic. Come on, guys.
Are you sure you're 80, Ray? Really?
I'm 80 today.
Oh, I think I'm getting out of breath.
30th of June.
Teacher, I think I need a rest.
When they said they did 75 marathons for his 75th birthday, they couldn't believe it, and the journey that he's been on and how much he's achieved, it encourages them to do the same. And again, he's an inspiration, he's a role model for them.
80 is only a number. It's a number on my birth certificate, really, but it means nothing. And why? Why should I have my feet up?
So whether you're 8 or 80, they're just numbers to Ray, who believes everyone should keep on running. Martin Fisher, ITV News.
Oh, happy birthday, Ray. You can, of course, see more about Ray's story, plus the rest of the day's news from around the region on our website. The same address as ever is itv.com/calendar.
Well, the time has come to get the hankies out, because this is Christine's last show, as you know, and we're incredibly sad to see her go, as I know all of you are too. Great excuse to raid the archives, though, and watch the hairstyles.
I'm dreading this bit.
Yeah. Here we go. Roll VT.
Hello from Richard Whiteley and Christine Talbot here at the Yorkshire Television News Centre.
The main stories tonight on Calendar.
Her life has been lived on your screens for nearly 30 years, from the reporter on the scene
We've got our tissues at the ready to witness a very special wedding.
to the main presenter on your region's award-winning calendar.
Thank you, Christine.
Good evening, welcome to ITV News and Thursday night's Calendar with Duncan Wood, Christine Talbot and the Prime Minister David Cameron.
But there's been so much more in between. Christine travelled the world on her big trip to bring you stories of Yorkshire folk abroad and the lives they were living.
I'm standing on the forecourt of the Sydney Opera House looking out at the Harbour Bridge.
Hello, beautiful lady. Vorda's here. Oh, do you know what? So many people would be sad that you're leaving. You've been there nearly 30 years. You're just such a lovely person to be around. You will be missed, but I'm sure everybody wishes you every single success and most of all, every happiness in the years to come.
She launched her own brand new show on YTV.
I'm Christine Talbot and I'm inviting you to join me for my new show. It's called Tonight and it's on tonight straight after Calendar.
Christine, it's Mr. B here wishing you all the best. I think we started when you started in all of this. So maybe it's time to kick back a bit and relax. Good luck for the future and hope to see you soon.
Well, we start tonight with a new series and Ian Clayton's here to tell us all about it.
Now then, Christine, I'm proud to call you one of my best mates, and that'll never alter. Lots of love. See you soon.
By Jove! How tickled we are!
It's her relaxed style putting everyone at their ease in the studio that stood out. And while her career was going from strength to strength, she wasn't averse to helping out others along the way.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of our very special talent competition. I'd like to introduce you to brother and sister duo Nicola and Gareth Gate. Lovely to have you both with us.
Anywhere you go, let me go to. Christine, that's all.
Hey Christine, wow, that was such a long time ago. I feel extremely old now, thank you for that. You know, Calendar will really not be the same without you, and I just wanted to send my love and best wishes for your future.
And it was on tonight that we also started to see those special moments in Christine's life.
Christine, will you be putting your feet up in the next couple of weeks before the baby's due? Oh, give her a cuddle, Christine. She obviously needs her mum. Oh, there we go. That's better.
And it wasn't long before Beth was getting in on the act too.
That's all for me. No respect to you, Mummy.
Calendar was always close to her heart, where she'd got her break as a stand-in presenter alongside the pioneers of our industry. And when the call came 20 years ago to become our main presenter, she didn't hesitate.
I was incredibly lucky to share the Calendar sofa with Christine. It gave me a chance to see up close what a brilliant professional she is as an interviewer, as a presenter, as a journalist. She handled interviews with people with great kindness, care and compassion, and we did have a lot of fun. So whatever comes next, Christine, all the best, so much love to you and the family.
Hello, it's Monday, August the 4th.
And this is Calendar, and where do you come when you're having a heat wave?
You come here to Skegness.
In 2003, she teamed up with Duncan, and they're now the longest-serving couple on ITV.
Christine Talbot, Gabby Logan here, and believe it or not, you wouldn't believe that I do hours of live telly. This is about the 17th take. Because I couldn't quite get my words right, because I felt quite emotional about the fact that you're not going to be sat there next to Duncan. You're like, your Ant and Dec, your wine and cheese, your strawberries and cream, you come together.
It's the door, it's the door. You get the door, I'll hide behind the sofa.
Yeah, cheeky. They trust you and they look at you and they feel reassured by you, and that is an enormous talent, to be a beautiful person off the screen and on the screen. You've done it with such style and class and panache. So good luck in everything that you do.
You can hear behind me the noise of the clear-up going on in another street. And if you come
Over the last 18 years, she's been at the heart of the biggest stories our region has known.
Tonight, a serial killer's correspondence. The Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe, has written to Calendar, reducing his murderous reign of terror to one chilling quote.
And it's her journalism, her storytelling, the way she cares about everyone she meets and interviews that will be best remembered.
So as you can see, as soon as a van of aid arrives here on the outskirts of the jungle, everybody comes out and swarms around it, trying to grab what they can from inside.
She forms unique bonds with those she interviews, like Jackie Roberts, whose student daughter Megan drowned in York.
The thing with Christine is she's an incredibly compassionate person, and the people she works with, she then becomes a friend, and she's continued to be a friend of mine ever since. And I just think she's got an incredibly generous spirit, and you know, through her work, she has used it to help so many people.
Christine forms friendships with those in real difficulties.
I always look forward to seeing her. I always look forward to hearing from her. And we have a bit of fun and we have a laugh, and that's important as well. I have a sense of humour, because you can't be sad all the time. And she's a very, very special person in my life. Love her lots.
She's just a wonderful, special person, and you don't meet many people like Christine in your life. And when you do meet people like that, you need to hold on to them, and I intend to.
And you can be sure that Christine will continue to support those forced into the spotlight at the most difficult times in their lives after she leaves us.
Well, watch your popcorn! Well, I think we got through that one quite unscathed, don't you? Where's that gone?
Christine doesn't look for the accolades, but there have been plenty. Just like those classic calendar moments that everyone loves.
I've always wanted to do this.
And for good luck.
As you can see, we've got a bit of a problem in the studio in that we've lost our lights.
Are you still there?
Hello, hello. But we can still give you this story. Oh, the bat.
It's been a magical career, and speaking of magic, abracadabra, look who's here.
I can't believe after 30 years you're sadly leaving us on Yorkshire Television and ITV Calendar News. I used to watch that every night with my nan and grandpa, and I've had the pleasure of being on the couch, being interviewed by you and sharing some magic together. So, you know, at least I feel part of your legacy a little bit. You're going to be missed from the Dynamo household, and I just want to send big love to you in whatever you do next.
Andre did promise to give me a lift home because he's just going up the M1, so is that okay?
Yes.
Oh.
And as she disappears off into the distance.
I enjoyed that fire lift far too much.
You did, didn't you?
Oh,
wow,
thank you
there
so
we go.
much. Do you know that was just amazing to go back over all those years, and very emotional.
27
as you can see.
years.
Gosh, 27
20
years.
doing calendar, 18 for us.
I know. And to watch it, and it seems like no time at all, to be perfectly honest. And I can't believe I've actually been doing this for so long and had the privilege.
Well, I don't know if anybody's worked this out, Christine, but I reckon you've done over 5,000 calendars. And for every single one of those, you've brightened up our front rooms with your lovely, warm smile. But we've had some fun, haven't we? Who can forget the Tick Hill snow back in November 2010? Look at that. I've never seen snow like that in England. What a night. There's you looking gorgeous. There's me looking like Nanook of the North. And don't forget the jousting at the Bakewell show as well, when I won the hand of the fair maiden, Christine. I tell you what, Chris Kiddie, he didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance.
We did some daft things, didn't
and
we?
Lastly, this was 2005 at the launch of the calendar team, the relaunch, should I say, of the calendar team there back in 2005. We've had some great fun, haven't we, Christine?
We've had such a laugh. I mean, the thing is, working with you two, it's just been a joy every day. You know, we're a right little trio, and it's been wonderful. And
it's been great fun.
Every day is fun. Every day is a huge pleasure, as it is with all my colleagues.
And there you are putting your feet up behind them.
Oh,
just go. And there you are on the roof.
That was on the roof when we nearly got blown away.
Absolutely.
We had to get tied on.
Don't go around anywhere. Don't go anywhere, mate. But we've got another little surprise for you now in this direction, because I have a little letter here that has arrived. I will read part of it. There's a graphic going to appear. It's from Clarence House in London. It's from the Prince of Wales.
Oh, my
and has said, as patron of the Prince of Wales Hospice, His Royal Highness is very conscious of the immense contribution you have made over the years and wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for all you have done, both on air and in your tireless fundraising activities. As you take a well-earned rest from your labours, this comes with the Prince of Wales's very warmest
Wow, thank you so much.
Because we know how much you do for charity, not just for the Prince of Wales Hospice in Pontefract, but for so many other people. So we just thought we'd make sure that the next King of England dropped a line to you just before you went. You know, is that all right?
Well, that is a huge honour. Wow,
Yeah.
Amazing, and thank you so much. And thanks for all of this.
Yeah,
It's just knocking.
Well, lots of people are waiting for the after-show party, aren't they? Is there anybody we can see on the after-show party? There we are, all your people at home, all the calendar team, some of your family, your sisters on the beach in Portugal.
Oh, there they are.
I think bottom left is your mum and Beryl and your daughter and your husband
Is
and
John
Rupert.
there as well?
Shires is on there on his boat already. He left a couple of months ago. Absolutely wonderful. People joining all the time. We're going to have such a party. And actually, we're going to have a world premiere on that party, Christine, which we're going to give you a little teaser of now. Okay. Because we've pulled together a few people to do a song for you. And that's going to be revealed in a world exclusive after we go off air tonight. But you're going to be able to see it at home, folks, on Facebook or on the Twitter feed. So let's have a little sneaky look at this song now.
Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for.
For all of us, it's a bit like getting a gold medal, you know, at being allowed to say thank you, actually getting an opportunity to say thank you for all those incredible opportunities you've given us.
So Elliot's pulled it all together, and as we saw, there were stars there, Gareth Gates, Tony Christie. Get onto your social media tonight, folks, and you will see our special song for Christine.
I cannot believe all this, and thank you so much. And I'm getting, I was determined not to cry, but I am doing. But I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you at home for all your support over the years. Thank you for letting me and our team into your living rooms every night. I mean, it really is a huge honour and a privilege to tell your stories. I'm going to miss everybody here. I'm going to miss John. I'm going to miss Duncan so much. You know, we're such great friends.
We are.
But also, you've taught me so much as well.
Oh, don't be daft.
And you know, I know we'll all carry on going on together. But I feel like I've been the luckiest woman in the world to have this job on Calendar, which I know means so much to the people of this region. And I'm going to miss everyone, but I'll still be in touch with everyone. But thank you. I am the luckiest person in the world and can't
We love you
believe
to
this.
bits.
Thank you
you so much for the last 18 years.
Oh.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Bringing you blue skies and sunshine. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Well, Christine, all good things come to an end. On behalf of the weather team here, Kerry, Emma, Joe and myself, we're going to miss you. Good luck. Now, today we did have quite a lot of cloud around. This is borne out here on this scene at Mosborough there with the ripening wheat, and also in South Yorkshire at Wombwell there, cloudy skies, although it did brighten up in one or two spots. If we take a look at the satellite and radar earlier on today, you can see west was best, the best of the sunshine up towards the Pennines and the Yorkshire Dales. As we head through this evening, well, there will be some cloud breaks developing, again mainly in the west. That low cloud is going to plague the coast overnight tonight, but I'm expecting a dry night and low temperatures probably in the Craven area of North Yorkshire at around 8 Celsius. There is sun times for tomorrow, then rising in the morning at 4:39 and setting again 20 to 10 tomorrow evening. So tomorrow morning, again, the best of the brightness will be in the west of the region. Somewhat cloudier skies towards the coast might produce one or two fleeting showers, nothing too heavy, nothing too dramatic, a mainly dry day to come. And again, in the brighter spots in the west, temperatures 19, 20 Celsius, but a breezy 16 Celsius at the coast. And a little bit of sunshine again in the west of the region to round things off tomorrow evening. And then into Friday, well, there will be a scattering of showers almost anywhere, but there will be some sunshine as well. And with less wind, it should feel just that bit warmer on Friday, highs of 22 Celsius. The weekend itself, though, is really showery. Some quite heavy showers coming through, again, especially in the afternoon. And top temperatures, not bad, at 22 Celsius.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
And the grass pollen count has been high today. It's high again tomorrow, I'm afraid, and very high on Friday. But the only exception will be the coast, where it will be lower due to the breeze. Enjoy your evening.